Hello everybody. We got is a Dodge Durango 5.7 and we're going to be replacing the rear passenger side axle alongside with the bearing seal and some of the studs. Now these parts are provided by the customer to me, so I'm going to go ahead and make sure they have the correct parts, hopefully, because they do offer two type of axles for this car. You got a Chrysler axle, and then you got a Mopar, so we'll see. Customer had a VIN number. They used that one to purchase these. To install these, you do need a few tools. First, you would need a bearing puller. You're going to need something like this. And what it does is you can easily, you can see what I'm going to use, slide on its axis, go inside the housing, open it up, and then use this puller hammer to pull the axle and the seal out. Then you need something called a bearing seater and the seal. You would need a set like this, so you have different types and you can actually see which one sits flush and does not protrude away from the bearing cast to get in contact with the housing. So you just got to figure out which size bearing is going to fit best. And then you do that. Then you need one for the seal driver. Seal will go like this. You will also choose a fitting that will sit flush with the seal and do not cause damage to the outer lip if it's too big, and inner lip if it's too small, like so. So you just want to make sure you have a proper fittings. I'll leave the links to these tools. They're not very expensive. What we're going to do, and we're going to start out by removing the wheel, removing the brakes. Then I'll go under here, drain the oils, and remove the cover so I can unlock the clip that's holding the axle in place. So let's see how long it takes. You can see the fluid leaking on the brake side from the differential. And there's a huge play in the bearing as well. Alright, this customer was here for brake service. That's how we discovered the problem with the, you can see there's huge play, and that is from the bearing. We're not going to open the calipers this time. We're only going to open the mounting bolt here and get the whole caliper out of the way. So we're just going to open this one here and lift the caliper up out of the way. Perfect. Let's get the rotor out. It should come out easy. Perfect. As you can see, there's oil leaking back here, and see the play? Yeah, the bearing's gone. This is as far as we go on this side. Now we're going to disconnect the differential side, remove the cover, drain the oil, remove the cover, remove the C-clip that's holding this part of the axle inside the ring side, and we'll slide the axle out. with the pry bar, using this edge and this edge, pull it forward and the oil starts to peel out. Don't worry about removing the cover completely. Let the oil drain completely. Once it's done, we're going to take the cover off, and we don't really have to do a lot. We're going to push that axle in so the C-clip gets loose, and take it off and push the axle out. I wanted to see this, but there's a lot of metallic and shiny deposits here, and that could be because of that bearing. Since we're replacing it, I'll check everything else. Hopefully this has done no damage to any of the rings and pinion. Alright, so you would normally have to spin the ring until you see this 8mm bolt in front of you. I can consider myself lucky because that bolt's right here for me. I don't have to spin it. So take 8mm, that's what you need, and open this guy up. And it will take a little bit of time, but you can do it slowly. So you got all unthreaded. It's a long screw like this with a pin, you can see. So put this aside. And this would allow us to remove this spider gear pin, which also has room to move forward. So we do have to remove pin on this case. We're going to slide the pin out this way. After the pin is out, we're going to try to spin the differential. Perfect. One thing I could tell you is try your best not to get this on you, the oil. It stinks and you're not going to like it. Here we go. Once you push the axle in, you'll see that the C-pin, C-clip, whatever it's called, very easy like this, it comes off. You don't need to use any pry tools. Simply push the axle back and then boom, it'll come out. When we come on this side, you want to put something underneath to catch your oil and then try to drive the axle out. On this side, because the bearing is broken on my end, it might be a bit harder. Yours might not be as hard. So the reason I put that in there, because the axle will bring oil this way, and I don't want this stinky oil. I don't want to deal with this for cleaning and some gradual smell. So all you do is put a pry bar behind it, or if you can put both hands on it, get a good grip, pull it up, and here we go. There we are. Okay. Here we go. So right now we got the axle out. And the condition of the bearing and the seal does not look clean out. Okay, so we'll be replacing the seal and the bearing. Once you pull the seal out, I can tell all this metallic compound sitting here. Wow. Okay. So you're going to open the tool up like this, go inside. Okay. And open the shaft completely like that. We'll lock in place. Tighten the fastener back in. Alright. There you go. Then we'll attach our pull hammer. Once you got your pull hammer attached, make sure this is pretty close, tight. Thread this all the way in and then get it close as possible. You don't want the damaged thread on these guys. And simply pull back. Boom. The housing looks okay. I'll clean it up and see. Let's clean this guy up a little bit. All right, so at this point what I'm going to do to remove all, okay, there's a rough surface here and it looks like housing is damaged. I'm going to remove all of that debris from inside the tube. Okay, I just got the bearing back in here. You just got to use your tool, hammer it down slowly, and it should work. Sorry I can't use the tool and make the video right now. So I use this one to line it up like this, and then hammer the back of it slightly and make sure it's all seated properly. When it comes to positioning this, you can position it either way you like, based on the area you're working with. So in my case, this one looks better right now. That's what I'm going to use. And this is seated properly. We're going to slide the axle in. So I got the axle, and I see the problem is down here. The other axle has been eaten by bearing. The top lines up here. However, the splines on this guy are the wrong ones. So this one here doesn't want to fit. Right here slides right up. So this is the wrong axle.